So while the others are coming up, if anyone has questions, you can take questions. Yes.
Hare Krishna, your praise, holiness. So, I have this question. It's from yesterday. Same question from yesterday. Tolerance. About tolerance. What are the limits of tolerance? How are you supposed to handle yourself as a preacher in areas of hostility, or rather in familiar grounds whereby you're trying to preach to people who are like in more of ignorance and they're a bit violent? How are you supposed to handle this violence while not breaking the...
How many questions you asked so far?
It's one about tolerance, but I'm expanding a bit on the issue of tolerance.
Yes. The first thing you have to do is to try to chant for a minimum of 16 rounds daily. If you're not doing that currently, then you increase that. If the foundation is shaky, no matter what you build upon, it will collapse. You have to chant 16 rounds of japa minimum daily. Work on that first. You okay so far? When you do that, then automatically, internally, you'll develop a sense of the immunity in your heart, not to be agitated unnecessarily by other person's actions. Therefore, the tolerance level will become more and more natural. You okay so far?
Yes.
Behind you.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. There is that initial shock that we receive from relatives and parents.
Initial?
Shock.
You mean you give them the shock?
Yes.
Or you are shocked?
No, they are shocked that you are following a different philosophy.
Who told them that?
Maybe you told them. I've told them that I like this.
That meant you should change. You shouldn't have told them that. Because you gave them a shock.
In one way or the other, they know.
Huh?
In one way or the other, they know that you're
That's not what we're talking about.
Yes.
If they get to know in one way or the other, it's not coming from you.
Yes.
It's not coming from?
Me.
Yes. So it's important that we engage in a soft approach, especially parents and other family members, siblings.
Yes.
So they may ask you questions. If somebody asks you a question, it's better for you to answer than you tell it them. They may tell you, I heard that you're doing this. Yes, I'm doing this. Why are you doing it? And you explain. But let them initialize the questioning. Not that you tell them you're doing it. It's a different approach.
Yeah, because how long? Because most of the beliefs from Christian backgrounds, they suffer from the same effect. One, there's that initial shock from parents and relatives. You are no longer Christian, kind of thing. How long does that stigma last?
When somebody tells you you're no longer Christian, and you tell them you're trying to follow the Bible better. You're a better Christian. Yes or no?
Yes.
But don't prove it to them. Don't prove it to them. If you prove it to them, then they'll say, no, you're even better than the pastor in our church. Or the minister in the church. Don't do that. You must never play the superior role. You must never play that what you're doing is better than what they're currently doing. It doesn't work well. You should do that. Let them just simply understand you're a more worthy son or brother in the family. Good? Always remind yourself. And if you have done something otherwise and that's not working, then apologize. Beg for forgiveness. Look, I think I overstepped my mark here. I am still your brother. And I'm a better brother to you, then please accept that. That's all I'm trying to do. You can explain that way. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're on page 21. It says association with or different types of devotees. So the first one, it says the root cause of devotional service. The root cause of devotional service to Lord Krishna is association with advanced devotees. Even when one's dormant love for Krishna awakens, association with devotees is still most essential. So in the first sentence, Prabhupada used the word association with advanced devotees. In the second sentence, Prabhupada uses the word association with devotees. And he doesn't use the word advanced. Because if a devotee is advanced, then he's still dependent on the association of other devotees who may see him as advanced, although he feels as not advanced. That indicates even if you are pure unknowingly to yourself, still you are dependent on the association of devotees as being most essential. Practically over 95%, Srila Prabhupada said, is based on association with devotees to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. So now we're moving along the other aspects of the page. You can read on your own. We go to the next page, 21. And it says associating with different types of devotees. So the main book that I have extracted information in a systematic way for you to understand is from the Net of Instruction. And this particular exercise I'm about to begin. So on your screen, on page 21, it says number 1. We good? It says Prakita Sahaja. So there's a bit of an illustration there with a photo. Okay. So I'm going to go to the different parts of that, which will be on page 21, page 22, and on page 23, which gives you like a diagram or illustration of all 3 types. Okay? So you can accordingly write notes as we move along. So eventually we're going to come to this point here of the three types of devotees. But before I come to this slide of comparison of the three types of devotees, I want to show you the evidence from the nectar of instruction. Okay? So, Prakriti Sahaja, it's a Sanskrit term. Prakriti means materialistic, and Sahaja means somebody who is attracted to devotees and devotional service, but may not be following the regulative principles. And that's what's explained and reading. The Prakriti Sahajas generally chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Yet they attach to women, money and intoxication. Although such persons may chant the holy name of the Lord, they are not yet properly purified. Such people should be respected within one's mind, but their association should be avoided. In other words, you avoid the association on the basis of not taking the association, but by giving your association, because you may be in a better situated in actually following the regulative principles and chanting minimum 16 rounds of japa. But these type of personalities, they are nice people, but they still don't have the potency and ability within themselves to start beginning to follow the rules and regulations in Christianity. But we consider them as members. Sometimes you'll find that such a person may have a bead and a bead bag, but he only takes out the bead and bead bag when he comes to the temple. But as soon as he leaves the temple, the bead and the bead bag is put away. When at home or when he goes to work, it's put away. So, they are genuine and sincere in their efforts on the basis of these following points. You can write them down. Such a person who is a Prakriti Sahaja is not an impersonalist. An impersonalist is a person who believes that God has no form. But this person is not like that. He has faith that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and he is a person. So therefore, number one, he is not an impersonalist. And the Sanskrit word for that is Mayavadi. Number two, number one, they are not impersonalists. Number two, they are not demigod worshippers. They don't worship others other than Krishna. Number three, they are not pretenders. They say, this is me, I've had several girlfriends, I've had several boyfriends, I come with a new one every week to the temple, and sometimes I take drugs, sometimes I go to liquor places to take liquor. What do you call that?
Club.
Other countries they call it a bar. Right? So they're honest in what unfavorable activities they're doing. They're not pretenders. So that's number three. And number four is they are not atheists. They believe in God. And number 5 is the positive one. They have faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is to Bhagavan Swami. So, if not many, but quite a significant number of current practicing devotees who follow the 4 elegant principles and chant minimum 16 rounds, they must have been like that before they became regular devotees. See? And the main reason why these 5 things apply to them, they are not impersonalists, they are not demigod worshippers, they are not pretenders, they are not atheists, is because they are sincere. They are sincere. And the main reason that makes them sincere, as number 6, well, they are sincere, which is the general term for them. Number 6, the main reason why they are sincere is that they are not offensive to devotees. They like devotees. They may even buy some things for devotees as gifts. They like to serve devotees, although they themselves are not following the principles. And the first principle they are likely to follow is that they will become vegetarian and stop eating meat if they continue to get the association of devotees. They may still do the other things, but if they stop eating meat, and from eating meat comes the other things, illicit activity, intoxication and gambling. If you stop eating meat, then the other things will also slowly reduce. Because meat eating agitates the mind and the senses and does not make you peaceful. So such persons should be still allowed to be connected to the association of devotees. Otherwise I will deprogress. In other words, we should give our association but not take. Because if you take the association, then you again go to those things for sense gratification. But they are nice people. They want to eventually become serious. Because they are sincere, because they are attracted to devotees and not offensive to devotees. Any question on this one? Sometimes they are considered to be members of ISKCON because they only come to the temple. They don't go anywhere else. But they're not ready to sort of embrace the principles, but they're still coming. You'll find them a lot in our Sunday feast programs all over the world. Like they'll come and do a lot of service, although they may not be chanting. And japa, sometimes they do during like Rati Yatra, they'll come, can I help? Can I cut the vegetables? Can I clean? Can you make me in charge of the Rath? You know, when it moves on the one of the wheels. So they do service. So like that you still keep them connected. Because they are sincere. Inevitably, those who are serious in the practices, they were once like that before, so they become serious. impersonalist believes that he can become God. And impersonalism, Prabhupada said, is covered atheism. Same thing. And an atheist is also a covered impersonalist. Nice question. Let's explore that a little bit more for your understanding. What is the definition of an atheist? Anyone? You may have heard this before. Who can define an atheist? Ariane, got it right. Thank you.
An atheist is a person. An atheist is a person who doesn't believe in God.
Repeat.
An atheist is a person who doesn't believe in God.
How is that possible? Because why did you use the word God to define an atheist in the sentence? Repeat.
An atheist is a person who doesn't believe
In?
Krishna.
He's making it better. But let's keep with the first one, right? An atheist is the person who does not believe in God. So the word God has to be used to define an atheist. Yes or no? And one time I was on the street, and this man, he came directly to me. He said, "My dear sir, I am an atheist." And I said, "My dear sir, you have a culture." To what? So he said, "Why do you say that?" I said, "You are very honest." Very honest. And besides that, you came to me and you greeted me, "My dear sir," so you're respecting me. And immediately he was attracted to me. He said, "I'm telling you that I'm an atheist." I said, "Yes. But you're still a nice person, right?" Yeah. He said, "Yes, many people don't appreciate me. I'm trying to attack you and you're appreciating me." I said, "No, you're not attacking, you're just honest and you are respectful." So we paused, we each other paused for 30 seconds. He said, and he said, "Anything else you want to tell me?" I said, "But you started the conversation." "But I have a question for you. Can you define yourself?" He said, "Yes, I don't believe in God." The atheist is saying, "I don't believe in God." So I said, "Now can you define yourself without using the word God?" He said, "What? Can you define yourself without using the word God?" He thought about it. And he said, "I said that I do not believe in," and he stopped. And I responded, I said, "God must exist for you not to believe in it." He smiled. I put one Science of Civilization book in his hand, and he walked away, and he came back after a minute, and he gave me a donation, and he left. And in the donation he gave me, I could distribute another 4 books for free. Okay? Good. So back to the nice people who are sincere. These people are? They're nice, they're sincere. You should give your association and not take. But the association should be avoided, not must, should be avoided. You should give association but not take. And the next feature of somebody now from this point who's following the principles now, they become purified of the service and so forth. Now they want to get, from the sincerity comes seriousness. From the sincerity comes yeah. These are the persons. It's called Prakrita Bhakti. So the one word from the previous one is Prakrita Sahaja. Now we're on page 22 on the 29. We okay so far? Yes. So the word Prakrita Sahaja means that they are not serious in practicing, but they are sincere. So we're borrowing one word from here. Prakrita Bhakti. Same word. So the word Prakrita means materialistic and Bhakti means devotee. So that's like, how is that? How can a devotee be materialistic? Materialistic devotee. That's the word that's used. Prakrita Bhakti. And let's see it carefully. And that person who's a Prakrita Bhakti is a Kanishta Adhikari, he is a neophyte. He is beginning to follow the regulative principles. The word neophyte is not a bad word. It's a good word where somebody begins. Somebody begins to follow the principles, and then they get initiation and they're trying. What's the word? They're trying to chant the holy name. And they know it's good for them. They find it a little bit of a challenge, but they know this is good. So they try to chant minimum 16 rounds. That person you should respect in the mind, but not avoid the association, because they are beginning stages of devotees. It could be like the bitter sour mango, sour sweet. They're developing qualities of a devotees. Now this person who's like that, he still has to be trained because in the beginning stages, right? So therefore, this devotee who's in the beginning stage does not know how to behave towards other devotees or people in general, right? It's called a Prakrita Bhakti or Kanishta. So what does that mean? It means that I have found it. I am not this body. I am a spirit soul. And if I chant Hare Krishna, I connect with the Supreme Lord. And you're so enthusiastic to tell everyone indiscriminately. See? And then you'll meet a reborn Christian. And what happens? And Jesus is the only way. No, Krishna is the only way. And you start fighting with him. But you don't know, you're not supposed to criticize other methods of religion. You don't know. Because you're not properly trained to know how to behave towards people in general. And you suddenly got this enthusiasm to become a preacher and make the whole world Krishna conscious. Or make the whole of Kenya Krishna. Let's go and conquer. Not like that. See? And you do not know how to behave towards devotees. You may make mistakes, but you may offend in the innocence of ignorance, so it's okay. You don't know better. Is it all right? Yeah. So this is that type of devotee. So we should recognize the devotee that is still maybe a bitter mango, bitter sour. Give him the chance, because he is connected to the association of devotees, which is the sunlight, and he is chanting Hare Krishna, which is the watering process like a mango. From the previous discussion. Give him a chance. Okay? But if you cannot tolerate him because he's a neophyte, and he's a neophyte cannot tolerate you, then there'll be disagreement. There'll be disagreement. Okay? And now, This type of devotee can be innocent and it may be carried away by bad association because he's not fixed yet in his faith in Krishna consciousness. He can be swayed. Can be swayed. So therefore it should be shown favor. You should associate with such a person to help them come up to the mark. We good? In other words, if you want to associate with such people, you should be better than this. You should be better than this to recognize this. But if you are in this category, you won't be able to recognize because you're still coming into Krishna consciousness, although not following the regulative principles, but you're sincere. Where she's going? Special entrance. Come through, come through. Your seat is still there for you. Take breakfast now. Give her the microphone. Don't ask the devotees behind you or on your side what's happening. You just have to fit in. What did you eat for breakfast?
Fruit?
Fruit. What did you all take for breakfast? Kitchen. So that you won't come here into samadhi. After lunch you can get into samadhi. Okay. Alright. Now, it's important that we progress. In other words, you won't be able to recognize the different levels of devotees if you're not in that category beyond that. See? Beyond that. For example, if you are here as a Prakriti Bhakta in this stage, which is fine, it's a beginning stage, that you're now following nicely, you may be initiated, but you'll be able to recognize someone who is a Prakriti Sahaja. Because you are better than them of sorts because you follow the principles, and they are not so easy to recognize. Again. But if you have to be a little bit beyond this to recognize that this is the beginning devotee and my heart goes out to them in compassion to help them to come to the proper standard still. See? Not that I am better than you. No, I am below you to push you up. I am below you to push you up. So therefore, the more advanced you become, the more lower you are to push other people up. So let's see how to go lower while you are making advancement. Are you okay so far? You're writing notes, okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I was chanting so that you can not have to raise your hand, you can still write the notes. Right? Is that okay? Sometimes you can, don't put your hand up, continue. I'm just taking an interview to chant Mahamudra. See, someone's still writing. Hare Krishna. Continue to write. You're writing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right. So now you have to be a little bit lower than this internally, but higher externally to help this devotee. So what's lower? Harinam Bhakti. So when you become better than a neophyte into the last stages of that, you are actually initiated by the point of view you are seriously engaged. We okay? Same, actually initiated, seriously engaged. We good? So now I've taken all three. I have sort of, this is I'm not going to discuss for now. Okay? So I've taken all three and I put it now in a comparative study on this flag. And that will bring you to page number 23 in your handbooks. Page 23. Now let's look at it carefully. I've given you the evidences from the Nectar of Instruction, so now we're just summarizing it for you. This Prakriti Sahaja, he chants Hare Krishna casually. That means he only brings his beads out when he comes to the temple. When he leaves the temple, he goes back to these activities. See these activities? It turns to woman, money and intoxication. Okay? Yeah. But he maintains his faith that Krishna is God. And from the perspective of others who sees him like that, they should respect the person in their mind, but the association should be avoided by giving association and not taking the association. We good so far? Yeah. So this person, as he continues to chant Hare Krishna casually, has faith that Krishna is God. Like we said, plus is not a Maya, impersonalist or demigod worshipper, is not offensive to devotees, not a pretender. See? So, the more they associate with devotees and take their association, then they become like this, Prakita Bhakta. So, yeah, chants Hare Krishna casually. Because when you're with the devotees, you chant, but when you're not with the devotees, you put your bead back away. But this person, who was like that before, now chants at least 16 rounds of japa, is initiated, follows the four regular principles, but remember this person is trying to chant the holy name. You remember those words? Trying to chant the holy name. He is initiated, trying to chant the holy name. You get it? So when you recognize somebody like that, then from your perspective, you should respect them, but you should be shown favor. You give them your association, because you are on this platform, not there. But if you're there, then you'll only recognize this person. But if you're there in Harinam Bhakta, then you'll recognize who is this person and who is that person, so that you can give association with this person, not to be swayed away, because the faith is soft and pliable still in the beginning stages in Krishna consciousness. It is not firm. Okay? And this person looks forward to serving the spiritual masters as well as Krishna. And in the beginning stages, the beginning devotees need more association of both the Shiksha Gurus and the Diksha Gurus, so that they can be trained more. And as soon as you're trained more and your training is over, then you are here. This person chants at least 16 rounds. You got it? 16 rounds is enough. But when you go further, this person chants minimum 16 rounds. 16 rounds is not enough. Is that okay? Yeah. And they follow the principles, but there's a difference. They serve Guru and Krishna, but yet they also serve the devotees. Because this person does not know how to associate with devotees, how to behave with devotees, if you remember. See? Does not know how to behave towards devotees. But when you come to know how to behave towards devotees, then you'll serve them favorably. That's the secret. Because Krishna may not be so easily available to serve. And the Shiksha and Diksha Gurus may not be so easily available to serve. But the Vaishnavas are always available to serve. And the non-devotees are even more available to serve, to bring them to Krishna consciousness. They're right next to you. They're right in your community. So that's how you make advance. Serving Vaishnavas first, and when the Guru is available, then you serve, and then Krishna. So you can always serve devotees in this stage. Should be offered respectful obeisances of mind, body, words and body. Here just of the mind, here mind and words, here mind, words and body. You can bow down to such a person. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Vipasindubhyayevacha, Patitana Bhavanabhyo, Vaishnavabhyo, Namo Namaha. And this person is the best of the neophytes, but the beginning stage of the Madhyam Bhakta, transition to Madhyam Adhikari. See? Now it's interesting. Prabhupada says on the purport at page 50 and on page 53 the same thing, but the top one he uses the word neophyte devotee, and the bottom one he uses the word Madhyam Adhikari. Both are same. One is action initiated, the other one is also action initiation. Is initiated by bona fide spiritual master, initiated by bona fide spiritual master. Seriously engaged, seriously engaged. But this is the best of the beginning stages and the beginning of the next stage. So it is like a, when you get to a prutta and you want to choose a color. So sometimes you'll see a color graph, but it's shaded from pitch black to off-white to beige. But you cannot see a distinction because it flows like that. Same thing. You flow into that consciousness of a Madhyam Adhikari. And the Madhyam Adhikari now distinguishes how to associate with different levels of people, including those who are not devotees yet. So this is the Madhyam Adhikari. Worships Krishna as the highest object of love, makes friends with the Lord's devotees. That means he knows how to properly behave with other devotees. Now, is merciful to the ignorant, including the beginning stage devotees. See? And avoids those who are envious. That means he only preaches to those who are favorable. But those who are not favorable, why should he waste time? Just go to those who are favorable. In the preacher, he distinguishes between the association of devotees and between preaching to new people. Are we clear? I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. Okay? So now we move on. So then, remember, this person doesn't know that he's in that stage. Others can see it through the descriptions given in the scriptures. See? But you don't know. Okay. Similarly, at the highest stage of a devotee, not that I'm so high now, bring everyone who's lower to me, I'll purify them. Not like that. You can see this in somebody else, but they themselves cannot see themselves in that. Are you okay? Yeah. So, Srila Prabhupada gives a very practical example. See? Out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in the service of the Lord. Now, you may know people like that, right? Samadhi here. Stand on the side for a few minutes. Take your book with you. Out of many such, he sleeps less. I hear him chanting every day from 3 o'clock morning. Is that you? Yes, I know your voice. He can gets up early and he completes most of his rounds before Mangalarti. He's the one. See? You know how I know that? He's my alarm clock. Chants right above me on the next floor behind the altar, and my room is there on the second floor, right? And he's on the third floor. Well, 2.5 floors. You chant there, and he distinctly chants so nicely. I can hear every syllable of the 32 syllables and every word of the 16 words while I'm in the bathroom. So it's a good wake-up call for me. Because my alarm clock goes off at 3 o'clock on a regular day. Sometimes the sleep breaks at 1 o'clock and I get up. But he's my alarm clock before my alarm clock goes off. Thank you. Therefore he's in Samadhi here, because he takes less rest. He chants very sweetly also. Best time to chant is before Mangalarti. Okay. Out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in the service of the Lord and strictly following all the principles. An example is Prana Prabhu. And what is he doing? And he's chanting the prescribed number of rounds of japa beads. And he's always thinking of how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. Such a Vaishnava should be accepted as a Uttamadhikari, a highly advanced devotee, and his association should always be sought. See, I can see it in him, but he doesn't know that he is that. If he gets to know that he is that, yes, at last you recognize me? Bring them to me. I will purify them. So we are on page number 24. Number 8. We okay? We good? Yes. Now this centerpiece on the screen for day 3, I would like you to write down minimum 3 names. It could be more. It could be more. And don't write my name. And don't write the name of your initiating guru. We good? So don't write any sannyasi's name. Because the sannyasis don't live with him. They just travel. They don't live in one place. So you don't know them very well. We good? All you have to do is localize it, and you see how your consciousness changes. It could be a member of your family who is a devotee. It could be devotees in your immediate community, right here in Nairobi. And not necessarily those who are living in the temples. It could be from the congregation. This. Write at least 3 names down. It could be women, it could be men, Matajis, Prabhus. Write at least 3, if not more, that fits this description for you, that you can see in them. Now, but don't tell me this, Maharaj, I can't see anyone in my community that fits this description. Can I write my name down? Don't do that. I'm the most advanced in this community. Don't do that. It's not like that. Write it down. It's based on faith and relationship, not just putting a name. You know them, they know you, and you have some reciprocation. Don't peep into another person's book and say, hey, why did you write my name? Not like that. Have I got the name right? Riyaj. Got saffron, eh? You told Mama you're going to leave home soon. Saffron? You told her? You have to say slowly, a little sinking. She was crying every day when you leave. You can travel with me, She's not listening, but she's listening. We good? Who wants to share the names that you know? Give me one name that you want. Come on. Where's the microphone? Don't delete it now. Give. Or you had it. Give her the microphone. It could be anyone, a friend, a family member, who's a devotee, that you see this in them. Git, what's the name? Good, next. Microphone. Where's the microphone here? Give the microphone. No, you wait. Now we have to do this very swiftly. Now imagine you're just chanting the names of devotees. Whether you say Prabhu or Mataji, but you're chanting the names of Krishna and devotees of Krishna. Where is Krishna? Because that's initiated names. Or maybe they're not initiated, you can also say the name. Give him the microphone. As soon as you finish, the other microphone should be on and you say the name. We're not wasting time in between a few seconds. We need time. What's the name?
Prabhu.
Put them in my. What's the name? Pass the microphone. Are you ready?
Param Gopal Prabhu.
Who?
Param Gopal Prabhu.
Param Gopal. Param Gopal Prabhu. Next. Be wasting time. Pass the microphone to her. Next. Next.
Haridas Prabhu.
Pass the microphone. Next.
His Grace Rukma Prabhu.
Next.
Rasa Sundari Dasi. Rasa Sundari.
Rasa. Rasa Sundari. Nice. Next.
Lavanga Prabhu.
Ki Jai. Is it very much fashionable nowadays in Lavanga? His outfit. Next. Keep it on, don't switch it off, please. See, time is going. Next. Keep it on. Ooh. Don't switch the microphone off. Oh, the microphone is a problem. So it's not your fault, microphone is
Yeah, battery down.
here, then now there's microphone. Where's the third microphone that's around? Pass it to the front. Prabhu, fix, where's the battery? And now you have to go and find it. Come quickly. Where's the other microphone? Yes, tell us. Who?
Haridas Rukma Prabhu.
Next.
Sri Gauranga Prabhu.
Next.
Rukma Prabhu.
Next.
Ambika Gopi Dasi.
Ambika. Gopi. Yes, next.
Buddha Krishna.
Next.
Anand Prabhu.
Next.
Sakhi Jivani Mataji.
Anand is in Mombasa. Next.
Manasi Ganga.
Yes.
Sita Devi Dasi.
Who?
Sita.
Sita
Devi Dasi.
Gita. Sita. Okay. Alright. Next. Govinda who? Abdul. Abdul. Which one? Which Govinda? Priya Govinda?
Rich.
There's a Priya Govinda here, right? Where is it? Raise your hand. Is that one or which one? Which one you wrote?
Prem.
Abdul. Is Govinda Prem or Priya Govinda? Or both? Okay. Understood. Next.
Sham Priya Mataji.
Yes, next.
Dwarka Mataji.
Who said Dwarka? Okay, next.
Priya Govina. Priya Govina.
Prabhu,
Prabhu.
you're disrupting our flow. Please go ahead. Next.
Govinda.
Huh?
Govinda.
Govinda Pram. Okay. Next.
Sita Devidas.
Next.
His Grace Govinda Prem Prabhu.
Next.
His Grace Brhat Bhagavata Swami.
No. Who?
Brhat Bhagavata Swami.
He doesn't stay here. You don't know him. He doesn't know you. I want to know someone local. What's the name next one here?
Bhagavata Prabhu.
Nice. Next. That's how it works. Are the microphones don't work now? Which one is working? No, we didn't hear the nice thing to say. Where we start? Where we start? Where did we start? Please sit down. Govinda Prem. Next.
Rupa Prabhu.
Next there.
Govinda Prabhu.
Next.
His name is Anandash.
Who?
Anandash.
Next.
Govinda Prabhu.
Next.
Shigana Prabhu.
Next.
Lavanda Prabhu.
Next.
Bhat Prabhu.
Who? Bhat Prem. Next.
Prabhu Kibe.
Can't understand. Kibe.
Benson Kibe.
Who's that?
Benson.
Paris.
Paris.
Where's Benson? Okay. Next.
Prabhu Benson.
Benson. Next.
Dwarka.
Next.
Govinda Prabhu.
Next.
Paramanand Vishnu family.
Next.
Omkara Prabhu.
Pass the microphone forward here. What did we miss up? Did we miss out any patches here? Go. Who next?
Manashiksha Prabhu.
Manishiksha. Where is he staying?
He is currently in India.
But he's from Nairobi. Good. Next.
Mahama Prabhu.
Mahama. Next.
Govinda Prabhu.
Next.
Samadash Prabhu.
Samadashi. Next.
Kamita Kamau Prabhu.
Kamita. Next.
Kamita Prabhu.
Next. Next. So everyone covered? Who didn't say their name? There's other names also, but you're just taking one name. Who didn't get a chance to? Yes, microphone here, please.
Govinda Prabhu.
Okay. Next.
Govinda Prabhu.
Next.
Govinda Prabhu.
Navana Prabhu.
Somebody is speaking. Somebody.
Navana Prabhu.
Lavanga. Okay, nice. Okay, well, have we covered everyone?
His Grace Ghanshyam Prabhu.
Next. Yes.
Lavanya Mataji.
Lavanya Hari. Where's Lavanya? Okay, nice. Next. We covered. See how nice it is? That by Prabhupada's definition, you can find many, many devotees who are senior and advanced on the basis of Uttama Nikaya. We good? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, who is a pure devotee? Page 24 at the bottom. Who is a pure devotee? I'm reading. This is a purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur says that a person who simply chants the holy name of Krishna once becomes perfect and should be regarded as a Vaishnava. This is confirmed by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Upadeshamrita. Krishneti yasya giritam manasariyeta When one is situated on the neophyte platform, that means beginning stage, right? One cannot understand the devotional ingredients of a pure unalloyed devotee. However, when the novice, which means the neophyte, engages in devotional service, especially in deity worship. However, when the novice engages in devotional service, especially in deity worship, and follows the order of a bona fide spiritual master, he is a pure devotee. So Srila Prabhupada gave the example of a professional and an apprentice. A professional and a... Where's the cap for this? Put it on. Leave the bottle aside. A professional means he's expert in what he does. An apprentice means he's taking lessons, direction and education under the professional. Right? Now, Now, sometimes the professional may give instructions of what to do and how to do it to the apprentice, and he may leave and go away for a few hours. Right? So when the apprentice exactly follows that, and when the professional comes, you did it! You did it! Although he's not expert, but because he followed the expert, he is expert. Getting it? Yeah. So the same thing. However, when the novice engages in devotional service, especially in deity worship, and follows the order of a bona fide spiritual master, he is a pure devotee. He may not be pure, but because he's following the pure, he is pure. He may not be expert, but because he's following the expert, he is expert. The result is same. Anyone can take advantage of hearing about Krishna consciousness from such a devotee and thus gradually become purified, even from the neophyte. In other words, any devotee who believes that the holy name of the Lord is identical with the Lord is a pure devotee, even though he may be in the neophyte stage. By his association, others may also become Vaishnavas. So I'm going to explain this practically to you now. See, if yesterday you followed the 4 regulative principles and chanted minimum 16 rounds of japa daily, yesterday you did that. Plus, you only ordered Krishna Prasadam. No chocolates, no pizza from Pizza Hut. You getting it? And no soft drinks, not even soda or whatever, because that's made by non-devotees. It's not prasad, and it cannot be offered as prasad. Maharaj, why are you so strict? It's not strict, it's normal. So if you only ordered Krishna Prasad yesterday, food cooked by devotees and offered by devotees only, you chanted 16 rounds of japa, minimum, and you followed the 4 regulative principles, and you did some practical service, and also you tried to introduce people to Krishna consciousness, then you are a pure devotee for yesterday. If you do the same thing today, you are a pure devotee for today. And you do it for the rest of your life, you're maintaining your purity. And then you can see purity in others. And that's how you recognize. Even a beginning devotee can be a pure devotee. Questions? Microphone here.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
little bit doubt in terms of what you just mentioned about.
Prabhupada said doubt is a sign of intelligence. So show us how intelligent you are.
And number one, you mentioned
Prabhupada
about,
said that too.
like we used to drink soda.
Oh, you used to. When last did you leave it? How many days
Day before
ago?
yesterday.
Is it Sprite or 7-Up?
It was Sprite.
Still have it home?
Fanta is there. Not sure, but it is at home, so I'm not sure that it is finished.
The mother of the home is a mother. If everything in the home is cooked by the mother and the family members and offered to,
Krishna.
did you offer Fanta to your deities?
Yes.
Where does it say that in the scripture? Patra Pushpam Phala. If you make nice fresh juices, you will not ask for Fanta or Sprite. And it's very healthy. Okay? It's not something impossible, it's not beyond you. You know why people buy bread from the shop, even the loaf?
That is what my question was.
That's in your mind, I can see it. You know why they buy bread from the shop and the loaf? Because they're lazy to make chapatis at home. Everyone agree? Home means mother. Home means
Mother.
if you buy things from the shop, you're coming to a house, not to a home. And the mother is the guru at home for the food when it comes to prasad. Give the microphone to the mother. If I come to your home for prasad, will you give me Fanta?
No.
Then why you offer to the deity? If Prabhupada comes to your home, you're going to take all that out, you're going to clean the fridge, because if you just open the fridge, what is this? Chocolate? What's your favorite brand? Dairy Milk. Got cocoa in it. You know cocoa? Cocoa, it's a drug. Cocoa has more caffeine than cigarette. It makes you addictive. When I went to Trinidad and Guyana and Caribbean, I see cocoa trees. You know trees, cocoa plant. Just being next to the plant, you get a little dizzy. You're going to make your home a house or a home? From when?
Today onwards.
Anybody wants free Fanta, go to his house. It's in the next building. First floor, up the stairs, first door on the left. Don't throw it, just give it to somebody who can drink it. Anybody wants nice, full dairy made chocolates? What do you want?
I was asking if we can donate the Fantas tomorrow. Like today is the last day.
Are you making this commitment?
Yes.
And the child becomes the father of the home. Commitment. So make sure the parents themselves set a good standard because the child wants it. You want this, right? And what juice you like every day? Fresh juice.
Orange.
Make sure you get a lot of oranges, make fresh orange juice.
Sure.
Thank you. You're the guru of the home. Make sure everything is clean. And I'm not stepping foot in your home next time when I come to honor prasadam. It must be fully only prasadam. Whatever you have, the bhoga and so forth. No namkeen. You know what's namkeen? India? Tell them in English what that is. Mataji, say what's namkeen in English?
Snacks.
Snacks. You know, they sell snacks in our sweet shop. So the professional, big people who make business, they put it in the packet in India. Rather get your namkeen from here, right? Because it's cooked by devotees all that. But not the other one. You know that packet they get in India from Haldiram. You know sweet shops. So Riyansh has set a standard for your home. He said last day for Fanta. Don't overdrink Fanta today. You get sick.
Like, I basically can't eat any packaged food from the market.
Including that biscuit you like. What biscuit you like from the market?
Many.
What?
Many.
Many.
Very many.
Many biscuits. He's already detached by speaking. What if Mama likes the biscuit? You're allowed to eat?
No.
Good. He's a good guru. You set the standard on that. So why we are saying this? Why we are saying all this? Because the tongue has two functions. It's used to vibrate sound and it's used for taste. And it affects your entire being. Every iota of your body is affected by what you engage the tongue in. Transcendental vibration and only Krishna Prasad. Vibrate and taste. Okay, so now we're going to give you a nice break. You have a question about Prasad?
Yes.
No, lunch is only at 2 o'clock.
No, my question was, so at least can I eat like the food made in school, like?
You maybe eat food cooked in school
Yes.
and you pay for it.
Yeah.
You tell your mama and papa don't pay for the food part. Mama should send you lunch.
No, like she sends me, but like...
You like the other one?
No, like in our cafeteria, like sometimes maybe in a special occasion, if you're poor, like if you want something new, you just buy from the cafeteria. Is that now allowed? Or even I can't eat that either.
What would you like to
Eat.
Whose cooking is the best in the world for you? Whose cooking is the best?
I don't know. Most probably my mom.
Not probably. Say it is my mom's cooking
It's my
recipe.
mom. My
So you only cook what mama eats. My mom cooks. You only eat what mama? Best. Why you have to go for second best, third best? You don't even know who cooked that thing. You don't even know whether they took a bath and did it. You don't even know whether they went to the bathroom, they even washed their hand and coming and cooking. And you eating. Mama's cooking is the best. And you have many mothers in this community. If you're not satisfied with your own mother in your own home, go next door to Adi-lila prayer. Adi-lila, right? Go there and say, Mama's cooking is like this, now you cook better than that, and come. Go back and forth, not two horses. not satisfied, come from another building also, there's more devotees. Good. That's what Krishna used to do. He's saying this sweets here in my house, in my home, but Mother Yasoda is not tasting nice, so you go and steal some other people's home. But you don't steal. Okay. We'll take a break. 10 minutes break. Come back at 5 minutes to 11 o'clock. Srila Prabhupada ki, Guru Vaishnava Vrata ki. 6, it says accepting correction. So let's read number 1. To correct a devotee, one must be a non-envious. It's that simple. So there are 3 categories of this thing. One is not liking, and the other is jealous, and the third one is envious. So not liking is a bit mild, a bit more strong is jealousy, and a very heavy is envy. So irrespective of what position you are in, to give you a simple example, sometimes the mother is envious of the daughter or jealous of the daughter because the daughter gets more attention from the father who was her husband. Sometimes a person may be in a category of, say, a temple president, but the temple president may not like a particular devotee, dislike his life. No reason but dislike. Get it? So irrespective of what position you are in, if you dislike someone and if you are jealous of someone or if you envy them, do not correct them. Do not, unless you become free from the dislike and jealousy and envy, then you can correct. Follow that principle in life. It works. But if you see someone who you dislike or jealous or envious of needs some help, otherwise they'll go a little astray or something like that, then you should talk to someone that they have a good relationship with. Look, I'm concerned about this person, but we don't have a good relationship from my side. But can you help this person? Then the result of that person helping, who is conducive in the relationship, would be better. Would be better. Follow that principle. B. Desire is to practically assist the devotee in his Krishna consciousness. That means you are a well-wisher. You are not an ill-wisher. Don't correct somebody if you mean harm to them. Because your correction is external. Be a well-wisher. Did you have the welfare in your heart? Are you okay? C. In a position, spiritually or managerial, which justifies or necessitates such intervention. And I put this on the bottom, and it's in your book. So one may be senior by age or time of initiation, a managerial position, or administrative position, or spiritual position. Spiritual position basically means a sannyasi, or a shiksha guru, a diksha guru, or a brahmana. managerial administrative position, that could be GBC member, temple president, temple secretary, and pujari. They have to manage things, administrate things. I'm just giving examples. Okay? So if you're in that position, then you have to do your service as a duty. Do your service as a duty. So I'll give you an example. In Juhu, when they was having difficulties to get the land and also after they built the temple. So one time His Holiness Bhakti Brhat Swami, this is a little less known example. He came to Srila Prabhupada and he said, Srila Prabhupada, I have some difficulty here because I have to do my service as the temple president, but I have a problem. So he explained to Prabhupada that the construction materials were being stolen. In fact, when Srila Prabhupada was in Nairobi, internally he could feel that his construction materials were being stolen in Juhu and Mumbai. So he told Brahmananda Prabhu, phone and tell them, my materials are being stolen because I'm building this temple for Radharasa. How did Prabhupada know? Because he's Trikalagya. He can see past, present and future. He can see down, upwards and in all directions. But he doesn't manifest it all the time. Because he wants to be a normal person to reciprocate. And that's true, that was happening. So when His Holiness Bhakti Brhat Swami, who was the temple president there at that time, explained that Srila Prabhupada, it is my duty to oversee everything, including the construction as the president of ISKCON Mumbai, Bombay at that time. So Prabhupada asked him, what's the problem? He said, no, every time I go to the construction department where the material is being stored, I'm telling this devotee who's my godbrother and your disciple that look, I'm here to check everything is okay. But we know that construction is from being stolen. So the devotee used to give the temple president a hard time. It was Giriraj Swami. That everything is okay. You don't need to check. So he came and told Srila Prabhupada, this is his attitude towards me because I have to do my service. And if something goes wrong, and he told Srila, if something goes wrong, I know Srila Prabhupada, you're going to chastise me. You're not going to chastise him. Because you work with the president of the whole project. So Prabhupada said, yes. Your presence may not be appreciated when you go to the construction storeroom or construction place for the materials, but it is required. Your presence may not be appreciated, but it is required. So sometimes by these positions of service one may have to do one's duty. It may not be appreciated by somebody else, it may not be like even favorable, a decision in their favor, but one has to move on. See? In that instance, maybe there's no relationship, you can still do your service by correcting something. Nice way Prabhupada said. Your presence may not be appreciated, but it is required. Okay? At the same time, anyone who's in a senior position may be advanced, but at the same time, one is advanced by one's Krishna consciousness, not by one's position of service. In other words, somebody may not be a temple president or a GBC member or sannyasi or initiate, but they may be carrying on the Krishna consciousness in this particular life, and they're probably only 6 years of age or 12 years of age. They must have practiced Krishna consciousness in the last life for 8 years, and then they left the body and they took birth in the last 6 years. And they, how is this young boy? We never taught him Danga, but he's playing so nicely. How is this little girl? She's 2 years old. She walks in the temple room. Prabhupada. We didn't tell her this is Prabhupada. How she knows? And how is a small boy? He's only 6 months old. He's taking there, he's doing the cartels. girl who was 3 years young. She practiced Krishna consciousness for 80 years in the past life. So one can be advanced by one's Krishna consciousness. And that's not coming from the current life. So it's not necessarily one who's a senior is advanced. But somebody who's senior also can be advanced. So better apply the top one. Better apply the top one and be safe in the current life. We okay? C. Be personally requested by the devotee to help him in his difficulty. Michael, out. Rama.
Michael.
Michael.
Yes.
I need somebody to come.
Right.
Right. Both of you come to me. Feel the whole way. So, he's going to come to you. Your name is Balaram. Your name is Michael. Your name is Mukunda. Mukunda. So, you're going to go down with single key. And I'm going to know what to do. And you'll be questioning me in the other problem. I have the same problem as you have. Let's say this problem. Okay, the role play is we have Balaram Das and Mukunda Das. So Mukunda Das has the Harinam Chanda over his head, and that's Balaram Das. Prabhu, Prabhu, when you have a problem, you don't smile.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Krishna.
Hey, microphone, hold it close.
Hare Krishna. How are you today?
Face the audience, face the audience. Now when you have a problem, you don't ask somebody, how are you? You have a problem, you can't even ask somebody, how are you? Start again.
Hare Krishna, Balaram. Hare Krishna. I have a problem. You know, the last few days, my landlord has been disturbing me in his locked my house, and I need to finish.
Prabhu, you must give a problem amongst devotees.
Okay.
That's easy, right? There's many problems amongst devotees, right? That's easy.
Yes.
Yes? Oh, wait. The both are initiated devotees.
Balaram Das, Hare Krishna. I have something I need to talk about, and I don't know how to go about it. It has been bothering me. It's made it very hard for me to do my rounds and even be present within the temple. I just hope that you can give me some guidance, and I hope it does not leave this just between me and you. So, how do I say this? I have a girlfriend, and I've been breaking my regulative principles. Actually, yesterday, we went out and had some meat, and what do you think I should do?
Hold it close.
Prabhu, I'm not in a position to help you because I'm experiencing the same problem.
so you stay right there. 1D, be personally requested by the devotee to help him in his difficulty. So Mukunda Das went to Balaram Das, and he knows Balaram Das very well. And Mukunda Das explained his problem, and Balaram Das said, sorry, I cannot help you, because I may be in a similar situation. But the words are be personally requested by the devotee to help him in his or her difficulty. What should Balaram Das have done? What he did was not correct. Balaram. Because Mukunda Das has a problem. And what can happen to Mukunda Das if you refuse help from him, from Balaram? Balaram Das doesn't know that he's the last devotee in the community he came to. And because when somebody has a problem, they don't tell you everything. They tell you a little bit first. No. So Balaram Das doesn't know that. And Balaram refused to help him. So Mukunda Das said, this was the last straw. I'm finished now. Nobody's there to help me. So he does one of two things. What is the one thing he does? And what's the other thing is likely to be done? Anyone? Riyansh? Got it right, the name? Riyansh. What can he do? One of two things. That's extreme.
One thing maybe, like maybe he has no support. That's why he can, like, he may think that the movement, no one wants to help him in the movement.
And what do you do?
And he quits.
He leaves this God. He leaves devotional service. Simply because of Balaram's comment, he cannot help. What's the other extreme thing he may do? He cannot live with himself now. He's initiated, he took these vows, but he cannot live with himself. What will you do? If you cannot live with yourself, what will you likely to do? Yes, no, loudly, without the microphone. Yes, he may take his life. You got it? The only way you can say no to somebody that you cannot help is if you know that by association with them with the problem, you'll become affected and you'll become weak spiritually. You can say, look, I don't mind helping you, but I'm not the person. Or you may become attached to sense gratification, and you can say no. In the beginning, you should say no. It becomes a bit, then from the small problem, then you become the problem itself. But here it says, be personally requested by the devotee. Both know each other. Okay? Now Balaram, same problem is coming back to you. Let's see the next role model in the drama. What do you do? Let's see. What do you do to avoid him from leaving Krishna consciousness? Because he doesn't know that you know it. What do you do to avoid him from committing suicide? Let's see. Go. Yeah, let's see how he responds now. Now he knows that maybe he's the last person, maybe I'm the last person he came to. If I don't help him, he may do something extreme. Let's see what Balaram does. Balaram, I'm not telling you what to do, let's see what happens. I want you to make a mistake. You. What don't make a mistake, that's fine. Go, say the same problem.
I repeat the same problem.
Same problem.
Hare Krishna, Bharat Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mukunda Prabhu.
Oh, a little closer.
Hare Krishna Mukunda Prabhu.
I know I don't have anyone to talk to, and I thought I would come and approach you with the problem that I'm going through.
See, now he said something better. I don't have anyone to talk to except you. Go ahead.
The stress that I've been going through with what I'm doing in the temple and everything, it's made me fall off a bit. And I've been intoxicating a lot. I've been drinking, and I even have a girlfriend. And I've broken some regulative principles. And I feel like I do not want that to misrepresent me, especially now that I'm struggling with this. And I'm just seeking your advice. Maybe you can help me and see how I can maybe fix this. And yeah, so how would you help me?
Sorry.
Hold it close.
Sorry.
Face the audience.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu, but I'm experiencing the same problem.
No. You have to change it.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Don't say sorry.
Mukunda Prabhu, because I'm experiencing the same.
No, you don't say that. You, the last person is coming to. If you cannot help him, it's over for him.
Mukunda Prabhu, yes. We can at least, because I'm going through the same problem.
No. You know why I'm allowing you to do it and do it? Because you've got to change. And everyone here has to change.
Mukunda Prabhu,
Be more thoughtful now, what you will say. Would the view in your consciousness that he may leave Krishna and become on suicide, avoid him doing that, what will you do?
we can approach a senior devotee.
Hold it close.
Or we can approach a senior devotee.
No! You the last one is approaching.
No. I can't go to anyone else.
No, you can't tell him that. I'm just telling him to change. You cannot say I'm having the same problem. Neither can you say go to another devotee, because you're the last one he has faith in. Vivek, take his place. You did very well. Let's chant for him.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Do it. No, he is approaching you now. This is very good what Mukunda, what Balaram Prabhu did in the role play. We're all learning from that. He tried something that's better, better to approach another devotee who can help you. But that's not the case in this instance. So what Balaram Prabhu mentioned to us, you can stand there, both of you. It's on page 25, number 3b. Can you see? Guide the devotee with his permission to the shelter for more advanced devotee. You got it, Balaram? That's what you said. It's correct what you said. However, in this example, now this is his name is Vivek, right? But his initiated is also an experienced devotee. His name is Veera Babu. I didn't initiate you. Okay, this is Veera Babu Prabhu, and this is Mukunda. So he's approaching him. Now remember, you cannot say, let's approach another senior devotee. And you cannot say you're having the same problem, which he has already done for us, nicely in the role in the drama. He did well. Go, let's see.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Microphone close to your mouth.
I've been going through so much, and the last week I've been so depressed that I've broken the 4 regulative principles, and I found myself going to take a drink so that I can feel a bit better. And in that process, I got a girlfriend, and I didn't have anyone else to talk to. I thought that I would approach you to help me and just someone to talk to, because it is eating me and I'm so stressed, and I don't know anyone. How can you please guide me? Maybe how can you help me?
Thank you Mukund Prabhu for coming to me and discussing this matter with me. Mukund Prabhu, we always have to make sure that whatever we have learned from our Guru Maharaj, we have to follow that. That's number one.
Yes.
Yes, you did some activities that you fell out from Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
My only advice to you is get back to the track. Let's do what we used to do. Let's chant the holy name together.
Yes.
By chanting more rounds, we'll be able to come and get through this.
So you're saying we go together and chant?
Yes, we chant more rounds so that your mind now gets more into Krishna consciousness.
But what do I do about my girlfriend?
Leave it to Krishna. Krishna will
That's not what he wants to hear. You know what we told Ravanuna, right? Don't put your head down. He was ecstatic and Mangala did. I thought you'd go through the ceiling. And Ravanuna Prabhu, those gloves you wear in the morning, what's it for?
You are for both sometimes, but for cold.
Cold. Okay. Now, you did well, because what you did should not be done by Balaram. I'm bringing him back. Balaram, 3 things so far. I have the same problem, you said. Secondly, let's go to another devotee. And thirdly, what he did, he was trying to help him solve his problem immediately. Now he's changing your role. Your role is that you know you cannot help him, but still you have to help him. What did I say? Actually, he will learn the most because he's in the drama. Others will forget it. You know you have to help him, but currently you cannot help him. Right? So how do you help yourself to help him? What would you tell him? You don't have to repeat it, now they know what the problem is. Everyone knows.
Yes, Prabhu.
Balaram, no, Mukunda, we all know what the problem is, don't repeat about that. You know what the problem is, right? Now you know you cannot help him, but you know you have to help him. So what will you do to help him later? And from now till the time, say in 2 days' time, we're going to come back to you. What will you tell him to help him in 2 days' time?
Mukunda Prabhu.
Yes.
Hold it close.
Mukunda Prabhu.
Yes, Bhagavatam.
For the time being, we can be be associating together, but at the same time chanting more rounds.
Oh, so we go and chant some rounds?
We can chant some.
No, you're doing the same thing he said.
But what about my girlfriend?
You see, you're doing the same thing he said. He did the same thing, you're doing the same thing. You're repeating what Vivek did at Virabhavam. You got it? My point is very clear. You know you cannot help him, but you need to help him because you're the principles. Don't refuse to help anybody, even if you cannot help. Delay it for 1 or 2 days and get yourself trained or get yourself to seek for advice about to help in the situation. We okay? However, if somebody comes to you with a problem, and definitely you feel that you'll be affected by the problem, you have to politely tell them that. Otherwise you'll become a bigger problem. We okay? Page 26. If I do accepting correction, and anybody has any question on offering correction, which we just discussed. Any questions on offering correction? Yes, microphone to the back, please. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
You talk to Dashi? No. What's your name?
Simon.
Simon.
So, nice drama play from fellow devotees. My question was, earlier we said don't inherit a problem that is not yours.
Yeah.
If you take that issue from another devotee and you go consult,
Yeah.
isn't that taking that
Yeah.
problem?
Is it contradictory to knowing that the problem is not yours? That's what you're asking. The answer is yes. It's contradictory. You should not inherit a problem that is not yours, because you may become the problem rather than the problem itself. And I said that also now. That if somebody comes to your problem and you know you cannot handle it because it will affect you, you politely say no. But in this situation, the problem is not the problem that he is discussing. Whereas in the role play, Mukunda Das has a genuine problem and is approaching Balaram Das, who he knows well. Who he knows well. And Balaram Das knows Mukunda Das well. You getting it? So the problem is not the problem of Mukunda Das. The problem is how to help, how Balaram should help Mukunda Das, because they know each other well. Now you can imagine that if Balaram could not help his friend that he knows well, and if he commits suicide, can Balaram live nicely for the rest of his life? You understand what happens? So the role play is not so much Mukunda's problem. The role play is more how Balaram equips himself to help with the problem, which will not end in disaster for Mukunda. We good so far? Yeah. So when you say don't hear the problem is not yours, you don't know the person well, they don't know you well, and they come into you with a problem. And you know it all. I can't deal with this and I don't know this person. So don't inherit that problem. But you can inherit somebody's problem with his faith and relationship and not be affected by it because you are the well-wisher of the person. You know each other. So this is the situation. Our focus was on Balaram, how he will respond to help somebody when he knows that he cannot help in the current present state and he has to get trained or get help to help. Help himself to be better to help. That's the principle here.
Thank you.
Is it okay? And we should do that because the more we do that, the more we become better to help others. Yeah. We okay? One more question. Here's my microphone. Like for example, just to give an example, don't inherit a problem that's not yours. Right? Everyone knows well that if the wife or mother comes to you and you're not part of the family and she has a problem with her husband, she has a problem with her husband. And you know very well, if I get involved here, the husband and wife will get together on me and I'll become the bigger problem. Understand? Like that you should not inherit a problem that's not yours. I'm giving you an example. There's like two friends who are close, but now they're having a problem, they come to you. But you're not close to them, to either one of them. And then you take the side of one, and the other one says, so who are you now? He's my friend, get out! You getting it? So like that instance that you're dealing in a problem that's not yours. This is a different situation. Because it could be an extreme situation where he can take his life, or he can leave Krishna consciousness. We okay? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So I'm changing the situation to the corrected one. What is the corrected one doesn't take the correctness softly, the correction softly. What can he do to soften the heart?
See, if somebody approaches you with a problem and you give them the good advice and they don't follow it, that's what you're asking?
Yes, and the steps that he can take.
Yes. Now, you're creating a problem that does not exist. If somebody comes to you with a problem and needs some advice, but if they come into you with a made-up problem to get closer to you for sense gratification, then you can say no. See? Now, still the question remains. See? If Balaram gave advice after being trained by another senior devotee after 2 days to Mukunda Das, and Mukunda Das doesn't follow his guidance, that's what you are asking?
Exactly. I'm asking if I'm the one that have gone to ask for correction.
Yeah, in the role play, Balaram is giving the advice to correct and to help Mukunda Das, right? In the role play, in the front. Don't put yourself in it, I'm giving this drama to you.
Yes. So, okay, let me rephrase my question.
Use the role play of Mukunda Das and Balaram Das, and you ask the question.
I am Balaram Das, asking to be corrected.
No. In the role play, it was Mukunda Das asking to be corrected.
I am Mukunda Das, asking to be corrected.
By Balaram Das.
By Balaram Das.
Not asking to be corrected.
Request.
Asking to be helped.
And
to correct someone is different than seeking help and giving help.
Yes, but I don't take the help. Please.
Good. So Mukunda Das is not taking the help of Balaram Das.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you want to know what Balaram Das should do next?
Yes.
That's what you want. So Balaram Das should give it some time. Should give it some? Because solutions are not overnight. You've got to. Why shall I take any action upon him as enemy? Of course, this stage is meant for very highly elevated devotee. This is not meant for ordinary devotee. But the fact is this: how can one become my enemy if I am Krishna's servant? How one can become my enemy? If one is acting as my enemy, it is Krishna's desire. I have got some defect and he is correcting me. Good? So number 2 and 3 you can read on your own. It's a very nice section. Let's discuss number 1. We'll discuss number 1. You can write a principle down in your notes below that. It's been many lines or 26. We have did a session before this on the previous page, how to correct others. We good so far? So you should learn from those lessons that we have done how to correct others. However, you should receive criticism always as correction. You may correct others but not criticize them. Are we good? But when somebody criticizes you, you don't tell them, why are you criticizing me? You should decode it as
correction.
As correction, yes. In other words, you should welcome criticism as correction. But from your side, you should never criticize. You should offer correction. Then you'll be safe. It's not very easy when somebody criticizes you and you tell them, why are you criticizing me? Don't do that. You will just compound and complicate the problem more. You can just say, okay, I accept you. Don't use the word criticism. I accept your words. Be neutral. And don't say, I know you're criticizing me. Don't say that either. Don't use the word criticism. They are criticizing you. Say, I accept your words. I'll try my best to improve. That's all. Accept it as correction. It's not so easy. It becomes easier if you chant 16 rounds of japa daily. Any questions on this lesson on correction and accepting correction? Question? Yes.
Hare Krishna, your grace. How do you accept correction from someone who's lesser on this?
Somebody
who's lesser on the spiritual scale than you are, or maybe from a neophyte, or a new.
So if one feels higher and somebody lower is giving you correction, that's what you're saying?
Yes.
The more higher you are, the more lower you are to push others up.
Second question, what is the real type of correction and not the other superficial type of correction?
Yes, correction is based on relationship and faith. For example, the son can correct the mother and the mother will accept it. Although he is junior in all respects to the mother his whole life. But why the mother will accept? Because there's relationship and faith. She trusts the son, although he's junior. Correction only works best when there's relationship and faith. If there's no relationship and faith and you know the person needs correction and needs help, otherwise they may be in trouble, then go to somebody who has relationship and faith with them and explain yourself.
Thank you.
Don't be the one to say, I corrected him. No, that's false ego.
The last question.
It won't be the last.
It's not the last, definitely. So, according to the play, Mukunda doesn't find any solution in Balarama.
No, he found a solution.
If I'm asking, what if he doesn't?
He found a solution.
Yes, but
Half the problem is solved. Just by speaking to Balaram, Mukunda will be improving.
In case there
Just by speaking to Balaram or speaking to someone, half your problem is solved.
Does changing devotees association help one solve one's problems? If it doesn't,
you don't change the devotee association. You don't change others. Who should change?
What about changing the Sangha? Can you change the Sangha in order to make
change what?
The Sangha, the community, in order to get rid of the problems which you...
Yes, if you leave one devotee community and go to another, it may be circumstantial because maybe you changed your job and you have to go. Or maybe you go to another devotee community because you just got married and the other devotee community may have a better support system for grihastas. There's no problem with the current devotee community because there's many more brahmacharis in the community. You understand?
Yes.
So you don't have a problem with the community, but you have a situation where you change your ashram and you want support more in your ashram, and both are not problems. But your question goes like this, that you have a problem in living in the community yourself with other devotees, and you feel that if you relocate with your problem with the devotees, then you'll be situated better. Is that your question?
Yes.
Yes. But wherever you go, your forehead goes with you. Wherever you go, what goes with you?
Forehead.
That means wherever you go, your problem goes with you. Because you are seeing externally that the devotees are the problem. But you don't know the problem is within you, because your forehead goes with you. Your consciousness goes with you. And when you go there, then you also see the same thing in the community. Oh, that community had problem, it's the same thing here. And you move like that, and eventually you move out of the association of devotees. Because you can't find any community where you can fit in. Because you don't know you're the problem. So therefore we need a spiritual guide. That's why Arjuna took instructions from Krishna, because he needed spiritual guidance. Thank you for the nice questions.
Not the last question, but
if not the last question, good, go ahead.
If the correction which you're being given doesn't sound
the
moral.
correction is best, and the correction is most appropriate, and the correction is most effective if there's a relationship in faith between each other.
What if the correction isn't morally upright or doesn't uphold according to the Krishna consciousness?
There's 3 steps for the Krishna conscious step. Sometimes you may tell a person to do this first, and then you can do that in Krishna consciousness. So sometimes you have to give them a pre-step, which may not be fully Krishna conscious. So that's necessary for them to come to that step of embracing Krishna consciousness fully again. You understand? Yes. For example, a pre-step may be, like one is very attached to watching mundane movies that breaks the 4 regular principles on the social media internet. Right? Now, if you come to me for advice, and if I tell you stop this, you won't come back.
Sure.
You won't come back. But if I tell you, look, can you travel with me for 10 days? The person will say, okay, maybe not 10 days, maybe 2 days. Okay, fine. So they'll travel with me. In the 2 days when they're with me, are they watching any movies? No. So they have improved. They have? But I've given them a precept. I've given them a precept. Now when he goes back, wow, I was with Maharaj, and for 2 days, I was so absorbed in service with him, cleaning his room, because I have to engage him fully in 2 days. And then, see? And I take his phone away. I said, now put your phone, sit with me in my room, and talk to your mama. He does it. After he finished, put the phone away, Maharaj next service for 2 days. So he's got a taste that he can do without that for 2 days. It's a precept. I'm not telling him chant extra rounds, do this, do that. I'm just training him in the precept. So then he leaves and he goes back home. And wow, I really felt really peaceful. So what he does, that detachment to watch movies again comes again. Right? Because Maharaj is not around. So what he does, he watches. Then he said, maybe one day I want to watch. And he doesn't. Then he increases it 2 days, 3 days. Okay, once a week. Is he improving? Yes. And in the meantime, when he's not watching movies, he's watching Prabhupada videos and things like that. So I've given him a precept. But if I tell him stop, he will stop coming into Krishna consciousness. That's what it is. That is effective way of helping them gradually leave those unfavorable activities. We all right?
Very correct.
Thank you very much. We're giving you a 10-minute break. It's midday. You come back at 10, no, it's actually 11 minutes break. You come back in 10 minutes past 12. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nanda Krishna